serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening. Will the Williamsport Area School Board let it be or continue the fight?
We're talking about the issue of school prayer. We told you last month that the case went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, which decided to stay out of it. Newswatch 16's Joe Ducey is at a Williamsport School Board meeting. Joe, I understand the meeting just broke up. What happened?
Curated did just break up. The board just voted 5-3 not to allow the Petros group to meet during school hours. The Petros group is made up of people who wanted to pray during the school hours, meet for religious purposes. This despite the fact that a recent Supreme Court decision in the case allows the students to meet. The board members say they were a bit confused about the two different decisions. But some are worried this may lead, some board members, that it lead to a barrage of private groups wanting permission to meet. So the board is also studying its activities period and possibly ending the open forum that allows the groups to meet. It's an issue that involves the separation of church and state.
I like to start my day off right, with prayer.
Pat Robinson and Mike Bender are members of the religious group The Petros. They talked earlier with Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds. Their group's prayer meetings were halted by the Williamsport Area School District several years ago when the board objected. Lawsuits were filed. A lower court ruled in the students' favor, but both sides pushed the issue all the way to the Supreme Court. This March, the court said it would not get involved, letting the lower court ruling stand. Mike Bender had hoped that the Supreme Court would settle the dispute.
Other students in other schools who would have liked to have gone on and seen this case at the Supreme Court, it would have been a decision for them also of whether they would have been allowed to meet too.
Joe Ducey, Newswatch 16 in Williamsport.
And we will have more on that decision in the Williamsport Area School District, including what impact, if any, it will have on other students. Tonight on the Update at 11. Nolan?
The U.S. Supreme Court did agree today to consider a case involving a maternity leave and job loss. A woman who was refused unemployment benefits after losing her job while on maternity leave is appealing to the High Court. The department store cashier in Kansas City sued the state of Missouri because of that state's policy of not paying jobless benefits after pregnancy leave and job loss.
At issue in Carbon County tonight, will the summer cleanup program have to be dumped? Newswatch 16's Kathy Bellich says it's all because the county's trash dumps are closed.
Carbon County has the same problem that every other county has, litter. The county has a summer cleanup program to solve that problem. About 25 college students work for 8 weeks picking up this stuff. Then the garbage trucks haul it to the closest landfill. This year, the program may be in jeopardy.
We have a different situation because we have no solid waste sites in the colony anymore. It means that they would have to haul it probably up to areas in Lackawanna or Luzerne County, as well as maybe down in Northampton County.
Last summer, there were more than 100 truckloads of trash picked up. Commissioner Albert Cuck says the county may not have enough money to pay for long-distance hauling and keep on the same number of workers.
Since there's only so much money available for that program, it would mean that cost would have to come out of that financial package, which could now, of course, reduce the program. It wouldn't be near as effective as it was before.
Commissioner Cuck says this is a shame because the county may not be quite so clean as it has been for the summer tourist season, and there may be fewer summer jobs for the college students here. Kathy Bellich, Newswatch 16, Jim Thorpe.
Another part of Scranton's 120th birthday bash will be the grand reopening of the city's downtown firehouse. The building that had housed Scranton's fire headquarters for many years has been undergoing renovations for nearly 2 years now. The city was ordered to fix up the place because parts of the building on Mulberry Street were condemned as unsafe. A new porch is up, new roofing, glass, and floors, all to the tune of $800,000. The fire headquarters is on the National Register of Historic Places. It was built way back in 1906. This Wednesday, trucks and firefighters will once again be working out of here. And everyone's invited to a big celebration planned for Wednesday from 3 in the afternoon till 6.
When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll tell you about the need for skilled workers and how government money helped one man land a job.
Plus, we'll have a warning for senior citizens. That's on the Health Watch next.
It's the end of the model year, and RCA's best must be sold the old-fashioned American way with a mark 'em down, move 'em out clearance sale. RCA Color TVs, America's #1 choice. Color tracks in 19, 20, and big 25-inch sizes, savings to $100. RCA Video VCRs, portables with cameras, out the door with savings of $200. Capture more memories more easily on RCA's best-selling camcorders, now with $75 rebate. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Available at Joseph Mikulski TV and Appliance Wilkes-Barre and Arles TV and Appliance Hamlin.
Look for the SureSave stamp of approval, and you'll find great weekly specials like these.
Joya Noodles, 1-pound package, 2 for $1. Sure Fine frozen orange juice, 12-ounce can, 2 for $1. Pillsbury Plus cake mix, 18.5-ounce box, 2 for $1. And boneless chuck roast, $1.29 a pound.
When you want the very best, look for SureSave.
Look for the SureSave stamp of approval at a locally owned supermarket near you.
In one area county tonight, there's an effort underway to get senior citizens to throw out their old or unused medicines. Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini says in his Health Watch report that it is Destroy Unused Medicines Week in Schuylkill County.
Marion McQuail of Pottsville wants to know about prescription drugs she keeps in her home.
These eye drops are the ones that are used for a short period of time to take care of swelling.
The Schuylkill County Organizing Project, a senior citizens advocacy group, is urging other elderly people to do as Marion McQuail is doing. Have a druggist figure out what medicines you still need and can use. Get rid of the rest.
Especially things that they got 3-5 years ago that they still have in their medicine cabinet.
You aren't sure what you should be taking now?
How do I know? That's why I'm coming to him.
The pharmacy refills prescriptions that are still important to 89-year-old Marion McQuail, cutting down the chance she'll take something she doesn't need. At the Area Agency on Aging Center in Pottsville, empty medicine vials can be dropped off in this drum, part of a contest to find the person who's thrown out the oldest medicine. These so-called dumb drums for Destroy Unused Medicines will be popping up at senior citizen centers and drugstores throughout Schuylkill County. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Pottsville.
Senior citizens here in Pennsylvania now have a new weapon to fight back against rip-off artists. It's a new Senior Edition Consumer Protection Kit put out by the State Attorney General's office. The collection of 22 pamphlets is a redesigned version of the regular Consumer Protection Kit. It targets consumer problems that are common for the elderly. All too often, senior citizens are victims of con artists. The new kit is being offered now to coincide with National Consumers Week. If you want a kit, you can call the state's toll-free consumer hotline at 1-800-441-2555. That's for the senior edition or the regular Consumer Protection Kit. By the way, it's been 1 year since that hotline went into service, and in that time, more than 14,000 Pennsylvanians have called for advice and information.
In Pike County, some contractors are having a problem. It seems skilled carpenters are scarce. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds reports on a way to help solve that problem.
This is a very special day for Robert Videvek of Dingman's Ferry. It's his first day on a new job. He just completed a 3-month carpentry course sponsored by Pike County.
The school program came up, and I jumped at it because I knew this area is going to be, building a lot of houses in the area. It's being built up a lot, and I knew that if I could get the schooling, I'd have a better chance of getting a job.
Robert Videvek was hired by a Pike County contracting company. Pike County is the fastest growing area in Pennsylvania, but the people who run the contracting firm say finding competent help is almost impossible.
We've had guys come in here and tell us they can do sheeting, shingling, and you leave them on the job and you come back and it's all screwed up and it's wrong and you have to tear it off and do it all over again.
Up around here, your house that you build in this area for $60,000 down in a more populated area would go for $75,000, $80,000, $90,000. So at that rate, we can't afford to pay helpers as much as, well, obviously it's not as much as a union would, but even in more populated areas, just over the bridge into Jersey, their pay scale is a lot higher.
Pike County officials tell me that a majority of the money for the program comes from Washington, and despite budget cutting, they hope the program can somehow continue. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Pike County.
The rainy weather watch is next with Tom Clark.
Yeah, we understand you might be wearing a top coat tomorrow night at this time.
And you may be wearing one into work tomorrow night. It's going to get cold enough to snow.
Uh-oh.
When we come back, I'll tell you how much. But now I'll say that you're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP, and we are proud to serve Lewisburg and all of Union County.
It's the Spring Savings Spectacular at Renault and Jeep dealers. Save up to $1,483 with 9.9 financing on new Jeep vehicles, 9.9 on Jeep Comanche, on one-of-a-kind Jeep Cherokee, on Jeep Wagoneer, on AMC Eagle, and for the first time ever on Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Save with low financing and special value packages.
Get 9.9% financing at your 5-state Jeep dealers now.
What's so special about Jack Williams?
Now anyone can sell you tires, but there's only one Kelly brand. Quality value from someone you trust. Get a real good Kelly man.
Save now at Jack Williams on smooth riding P-metric Kelly Roadmark poly tires for great traction in wet or dry weather.
Well, let's go out to the backyard and find out about all this cold weather coming our way.
I
Tom?
want to hear it.
I know you don't. It's becoming colder now in the backyard. Another front has come through, and we had some rain this morning, about 1/10 of an inch in our backyard. The grass is getting mighty green, and the buds on the crabapple tree are getting fat and pink. Won't be long before white flowers cover this tree. But if you have any plants that are sensitive to the cold, it'd be a good idea to cover them up or bring them inside tonight and again tomorrow night. Now let's look at some temperatures across the area in the past hour. My weather watcher Patrick Reed in St. Clair tells us that it's 55 in his backyard. Marion Felty in Arnott, Tioga County, has 51, and Mary Orazi in Carbondale measured 1/10 of an inch of rain this morning. It is now 50 up there. And in our backyard, partly cloudy. I can see the moon up there, 55 degrees now. Humidity, 64%. The wind is from the northwest at 7, and the barometer is at 29.56. Our high here today hit 60 this morning, shortly after 8 o'clock. Since then, downhill temperature-wise. That is about normal for this date. 85 is the record high, and we tied it a year ago today. And there's a view today of Hacker Reservoir down in Carbon County. And this is the satellite view from last night showing a front crossing Pennsylvania. And we'll put that into motion, and you can see how it's been making steady progress east across the state with some showers and the colder air that's coming in behind it. That front is now offshore, and we're just left with some breaks in the clouds, a lot of blue sky overhead in the backyard now, and a few rain showers and snow showers up this way, and that is where our air is coming from for the next couple of days. Sunshine over Wisconsin, but highs today only between 40 and 45 degrees. This next cold wave is not going to last very long because of the jet stream by midweek having this wave of cold air moving offshore by then. And look at the big ridge of warm air that'll be ready to move in by Thursday and Friday. So unlike the last cold spell we had, which was kind of cut off in the atmosphere, didn't go anywhere, this one is going to remain open, this wave, and that means it'll leave town just about as quickly as it moves in. So for tonight, maybe just a shower this evening, but colder temperatures and some moonlight filtering through the clouds. 38 the morning low in Montrose. West Nanacoke, 40 tomorrow morning. Dress warm on your way out. 41 in Girardville, and out to the west, the Mill Hall, 39 degrees tomorrow morning. The wind overnight from the northwest. A sunrise time tomorrow morning will occur at 5:14, and the sun sets now. Look at that, 6:51. We go to daylight savings time this coming Sunday. Push the clocks ahead 1 hour. Partly cloudy overnight tonight, about 40 for the low. 44 tomorrow. Cold, cloudy, sprinkles of rain, a shower of rain, maybe even some snow flurries, and it could whiten the ground in some of the highest elevations, especially north of here, across the northern counties of Pennsylvania. But a little touch of mid-March tomorrow. 50 for Wednesday, bright and sunny, and then back into the 60s on Thursday, 70 on Friday. So it won't last very long.
Not. Okay, thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. And the Sports Watch is next with Tim Carlson. He says that one of the finest college women's softball teams in the country is coming up on his Sports Watch.
Plus, the first big payday in the Boston Marathon pays off for a favorite. In case you didn't know, today is Patriots Day in Boston, right, Tim?
Very good, Karen, and part of that is the Boston Marathon. But a year ago, the famed marathon was on the verge of becoming the white elephant of long-distance events. And wow, what a difference a year makes. The powers that be in Boston decided to offer prizes and prize money to winners for the first time this year. Now the Boston Marathon is back up there among the top races in the world. Now, despite the promise of a big payday, 700 fewer runners started today's race that totals 4,800. The start from Hopkinton featured 50 degrees and hazy skies as the runners got going for the 26-mile run. The men's favorite was Rob DiCastella in the front here of Australia, and what a performance. He took an early lead and ran a tremendous race, never looking back. Here's DiCastella to the finish in a record time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, 49 seconds. That time bettered Alberto Salazar's 82 mark of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 51 seconds. And DiCastella broke the bank with the record, receiving $30,000 for the win, an extra $25 grand for breaking the old record, plus he drives home a new Mercedes-Benz.
The first part is so fast because the first 6 miles is downhill, and I felt that I was running pretty comfortably, so I thought I'd just keep it going.
The women's winner was also a favorite. Ingrid Christensen of Norway finished first with a time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, 55 seconds, below the course record of 2:22.42, and she also won 30 grand and a Mercedes.
I'm not satisfied with this race, but the coming race is as it is, so we'll see.
The final standings now in the 90th Boston Marathon. Let's take a look at them. Among the men, Rob DiCastella first, 2:07.49 his time. A surprise in second, Art Below of Canada. Orlando Pizzolato was third. He's won the marathon 2 times in Boston. Fourth place went to 4-time Boston winner Bill Rogers. In the women's field, Ingrid Christensen, the winner, 2:24.55. Carla Berskens of the Netherlands was second. Marathon great Joan Benoit did not race because of an injury. Every athletic season, it seems one of our local college teams comes up with a prestigious national ranking. Penn State in football, University of Scranton, and Susquehanna in basketball. The softball season is no different. The women of Bloomsburg University have the honors, and John Evans went to see why.
Over the past 3 seasons, the Bloomsburg Huskies softball team has piled up some impressive statistics. They've averaged 33 wins a year. They've won the Pennsylvania Conference title each year, and they finished in the final 8 in the country each year. Pretty tough stats to top, right? Well, this year's team just might be able to do it. They're 28-3, and they're ranked 4th in the country.
This may be the best hitting lineup we've ever had. So defensively, we're very solid. It's almost the same team that we had last year, minus a center fielder, but we've also had Gene Millen back, who was out last year with an injury. So I would have to say that this is probably the strongest team that we've had at BU.
You can talk about returning starters, you can talk about offense, but the biggest reason this Bloomsburg team is Final Four material is the starting pitching. Hutchinson has 3 girls who would be aces on almost any other staff in the country. Junior Susan Coker is 10-0, and she's thrown a perfect game, a no-hitter, and a 1-hitter all in 1 year this year. Senior Chris Moyer is 8-1, and sophomore Jill Solinsky is 8-2.
We have 3 outstanding pitchers, any one of which we could pitch in any game. I think we feel comfortable that they could all do the job in playoffs. We had a shot at being in the Final Four last year, and it slipped through our fingers, and they want it very badly, and I think they're very dedicated to getting there.
Last Friday, this team gave the coach her 200th career win as head coach of the Huskies. Before this season is over, they might give her a first NCAA national title as well. John Evans, Sports Watch 16, Bloomsburg.
Very quickly, the Tigers beat the Red Sox today 5-4, Patriots Day in Boston. And back on the update with a story about Dave Parker being sued by the Pittsburgh Pirates for using cocaine.
Ooh. Okay, Tim.
See you later.
Okay, thanks, Tim.
When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll tell you about a local team getting ready for a big race.
They plan to drive their antique car from coast to coast to hopefully win honors for Northeastern and Central Pennsylvania.
Under the silk pajamas, under the lacy pillow, under the designer sheets, way down deep, is a great night's sleep. The King Coil Posture Bond, the only mattress designed for comfort, for superb spine support, and endorsed by the International Chiropractors Association. Underneath it all is your good night's sleep. The Posture Bond, only from King Coil.
Hey, cola lovers, you'll love this. Now there's cherry cola slice with 10% juice.
We got the juice, we got the switch. Cherry cola slice, we got the cherry cola smith. Cherry cola slice, it's got real juice. It's a one-of-a-kind cola, only one you find cola. It's a very cherry cola slice. It'll really blow you over. Cherry cola over for this very cherry cola slice. We got the juice.
Diet too.
Cherry cola slice.
finally tonight, the local connection to the nationwide Great American Race.
That's the antique car coast-to-coast road rally we told you about last week. One of the stops will be Wilkes-Barre over the 4th of July weekend.
Newswatch 16's Mark Davis is live in Swarsville with the local entry. Boy, that's a beauty of a car, Mark.
I tell you, Karen, this is a real treat. This is a 1936 Ford Phaeton. It's about twice as old as I am. And beginning in about 2 months from now, a group of local men is going to take this car from California to New York City in the Great American Race. The car is called the Spirit of Wilkes-Barre.
This is what the competition in the Great American Race looks like. More than 100 antique cars from all over the country, all competing for about $250,000 in prize money. The race is a timed, carefully mapped out event. It's not who finishes first, but who's on time at the right speed and on the right course. 55-year-old Derlin Edwards of Swarsville restores antique cars for a living, but this one he bought from a friend in New York State. Derlin Edwards wants to be in this race for one big reason.
Mainly because it was going to come back to Wilkes-Barre, and I consider Wilkes-Barre my hometown, and I thought if the Valley could host the race, it'd be nice for him to have a car in the race too.
Edwards won't be alone. He'll have a four-man team behind him, including his co-driver, Gary Evans, who, like the others, wants to finish the race.
Oh, it will be an accomplishment. Last year, 110 cars started the race, and I think 88 finished. So there were cars that dropped off along the way.
Now, if you'd like to get a look at the Spirit of Wilkes-Barre close-up, it'll be on public display this Wednesday at lunchtime on Public Square in downtown Wilkes-Barre. It's all part of a big campaign kickoff by the local Chamber of Commerce for the business people who have helped support the race and also the car itself. The race will be part of a big 3-day Great American celebration at Kirby Park in Wilkes-Barre over the 4th of July weekend, expected to attract thousands of dollars and thousands of people to our area. That's all coming up on the 4th of July weekend. We'll keep you posted. I'm Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in Swarsville. Karen?
Okay, thanks, Mark. Boy, that's a nice car.
Beautiful car.
We'll be behind the wheel on that. Whew.
Yeah.
That's Newswatch 16 for this Monday.
Be sure to join us tonight on The Update when we'll be showing you why there's reason to celebrate at a hospital in our area.
World News Tonight is next for the team. Thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you at 11.
Enjoy your evening.